for the first time in the history of this branch and in the history of the Sierra Leone-related political events in this branch, we could rally the community to hail their new administration and usher in a confidence never experienced in political interactions of party faithfuls in Washington, D.C. veteran branch. From the onset, minimizing internal conflict while maximizing cohesiveness has been my policy, and hopefully the policy of everyone wanting to see a more disciplined and vibrant SLPP from grassroots to the pinnacle of national politics. Our actions have been consistent with the minimizing of internal conflict and the maximizing of cohesiveness. That does not mean we are going to put everything under the carpet. It means even where there are anomalies, our approach will be dignified and respectful, while at the same time being firm. After the elections, we realized there were some remnants of animosities, especially in the winding days of the election. That is only natural. When two people fight, it is difficult for them to resolve their differences without a third party. I understood that from the onset. To ensure that the party's work continued without hindrance, our first action was to institute a handing over committee headed by Mr. Ernest Pikanyande. Through the effort of Mr. Pikanyande, we were able to transfer signatories to the party's bank account and receive party banner from outgoing chairman Wuri. No documents other than bank-related ones changed hands from the outgoing administration to the current. This has been unfortunate. Now we are beginning to see the impact this lack of prior knowledge is having on our ability to effectively and expeditiously manage emerging conflicts in the party, because there are no documents to reference in determining the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Secretariat of the Dawes Wuri administration, headed by Alfred Yaja, refused to hand over past minutes to the incumbent. I am not making a complaint. I want you guys to know the hindrances that are on the path to success. In order for us to resolve these hindrances, we're going to have to look at these things squarely in the face and find a way forward. Let's open rooms for discussion and dialogue on this issue so that we can come on terms with what needed to be done so that we can move this party ahead. Dawes Wuri himself never handed over a file to me as his successor. This situation is making things a little difficult and perhaps has reached a point where a definite decision is necessary. One situation is the choice of delegates to the party conference at the regional level. Dubious circumstances continue to cloud what otherwise would have been an easy process to manage. In a truly democratic spirit, once act on the stage is over, one must live with the dignity that has been bestowed on one, and never should one impose one's indispensability on one's successor. Let the process take its course. But that is not the case with the Washington, D.C. Metro delegates issue. And the actions of the delegates, Aliu Dawes Wuri, Neneba Jallow, and Momodu Sheku, has been inconsistent with the desires and aspirations of our chapter. That is rather unfortunate. As delegates, the three individuals refused to vote according to the wishes of the executive, acting on the mandate of the general membership. First, Neneba Jallow, Momodu Sheku, and Dawes Wuri voted against myself and other representatives from this chapter to the National Convention held in Bo from February 26 through 28. We all received 0 votes, which means not even our representatives voted for us. Second, the desire of our branch to nominate the New York branch to host the August convention. Again, they voted against it, enabling the convention to go so far west that financially it will have devastating impact on our ability in this region and in this chapter to raise funds. I do have an email from intelligence sources in which one of the delegates voted via emails. I have a copy of that email. And I will give it to the committee that we're going to set up here as part of the way forward. some of these delegates continue to tell us they voted for New York, when in fact the email explains differently. Furthermore, these three people continue to push as our valid delegates to the convention in Southern California. They are aided and abetted in this ploy by the regional chairman himself, Boss Fale, with complete disregard of our own internal decorum. I have an email that was sent to Lawyer Ba, Mamadou Sheku, and Nene Ba from Boss Fale, assuring them that they will be seated delegates. And that also will be given to the committee as part of our intelligence network.
Chairman Fale can go to hell.
In an email addressed to Nene Ba Jallow, Mamadou Sheku, and Lawyer Ba, on May 29, 2010, the regional chairman of Boss Fale has assured Nene Ba Jallow, Mamadou Sheku, and Aliu Dazuri that they will be seated in Southern California, contrary to their constitutional mandate. Approximately 1 year ago, on Sunday, June 21, 2009, we held a meeting at Nene Ba's place in Upper Marlboro. There were only 8 people in attendance, the largest number for a very long time since 2007 elections. It was at that meeting that the issue of delegates was raised. And I have the minutes of that meeting here too. While the meeting may be construed as general, the attendance states differently. The decision that followed at that meeting impacted the choice of Nene Ba Jallow and Mamadou Sheku to serve as delegates, replacing then Financial Secretary Stephen Lahai, who started service in 2006, extended to 2008, and ended in 2010. Also replaced was late Umaru Lami Pablito. Dazuri, like Stephen Lahai, started as a delegate in 2006, extended to 2008, and now wants to go on to 2011. That is both unfair and unethical in every respect of the word. Here are the minutes of the June 21 meeting, which I will make available. At this point, my fellow party faithfuls, permit me, with your full permission, to formally withdraw the delegate statuses of Nene Ba Jallow, Aliu Dazuri, and Mamadou Sheku, and furthermore, with your permission, demand a letter of apology from these people to the entire SFP membership in the Metro branch for failing to carry the mandate of our membership at the regional party conference. Administratively, things have not augured well as I would expect. Anyone who knows me, from being a senior prefect in my high school to being a student leader, knows that I, when given a responsibility, will take it to its ultimate conclusion. I don't fall short of expectation. Centennial, we say, for God and country. And so any position that I undertake is for God and for my country. And that I will always excellent. If you want to be a leader, if you want to serve this party, when you step forward, you must, as part of your responsibility, ensure that your work is consistent with the desire, hopes, and aspirations of the membership.